in these stressful times of learning in unusual circumstances. Dr. Jonathan Eric Carroll is here with some helpful advice in our segment, Another Good Word. Good morning.
Good morning, Angie.
I read an article, as I shared with you, about parents really kind of struggling with getting their kids to open up and really talk about the stress, not just of school and regular days, but now. So how was school, as I said, may not be the most helpful question. What are some good open leading questions that parents can use to engage conversation with their kids?
You know, this is such a unique and trying time, and we may not always know to look for the signs that our children of whatever age might be feeling anxious. So we want to look out for things like increased defiance or irritability, maybe trouble sleeping or disturbances in sleep, loss of appetite, maybe a greater than usual lack of concentration, less energy, some physical symptoms. So one thing to do, I think, with children of any age is just to check in with them about how they're feeling. I think we can do that in any number of ways. For instance, for younger children, we might ask if their stuffed animal or baby doll were able to talk, what would he or she say about what today was like, about how you're doing. In my practice, when I'm working with children, I often use puppets because a child will be far more disclosive in a third-party interaction speaking through a puppet than he or she will speaking directly from his own experience. So bringing in the stuffies and the toys that children have and doing a little Toy Story moment, inviting them to think about what their little loved ones might be saying is a way to get the younger children to open up. For older ages, to ask them if there was anything that has made them laugh today. Did they notice anything, whether they're in-person school or virtual school, that maybe was indicative of someone being kind? Did they notice something about someone that they hadn't known before? Did they have an opportunity to share something about themselves that maybe they hadn't before either?
It's just really just good conversation all the way around. And, you know, if you're a parent working and you're trying to work from home and educate your children, this is so complicated, Jonathan, for families.
Yes, we have really no idea, unless we are in the thick of it, what it is like for families, for one or both of the parents to be probably working from home if they're able to work at all, which is a huge deal, and then having children in virtual school either all week or some part of the week. And I know it's different for every school and district and state, but it is an incredibly trying time. So we need also, I think, to check in on one another as much as we want to check in on our children, and we should. We might want to check in on one another and on one another's children, checking in with friends and talking to our friends' children about how they're doing. Sometimes we'll have a different level of interaction, a different level of disclosure when we connect. But moms and dads who are working at home and they're doing crisis schooling at the same time, the stressors are unambiguous and they must be incredibly difficult. So I think patience and empathy goes a long way. And I think that's a great way, too, to connect with our children, is to get on their level, whatever that may be, physically as well as emotionally and figuratively, and then to use empathy, recognizing that if I were in your shoes, I would probably feel anxious or afraid or worried or stressed or sad or confused, too. And it's understandable, and we're in this together. We're going to figure it out. And I know that school districts are trying to exercise utmost patience and trying to help not only children, but their struggling parents as well.
Jonathan, as always, thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you for having me.